Am I live? Sono live oggi? Hello everybody! Buongiorno a tutti! Sono Colombina oggi! Yes, today I felt like being a nice, cute Colombina, or Ricciolina, or Corallina, or Franceschina. Oh, but I need my Arlecchino. Oh, better yet, Pulcinella. Pulcinella, dove sei? Where are you? Don't leave me, Pulcinella. Pulcinella.
Pulcinella. Colombina, since it's the summer, almost the summer, can I have some? Can I have
you naughty Pulcinella, bricconcello, capriccioso e birbaccione.
Birbacciona, stai mangiando qualcosona?
I'm about to have lunch.
Can I have some?
I don't think so. I prefer to keep these for my favorite guest ever.
Oh, but I thought there was. I mean, I knew that there was there's a wonderful guest that we can play with.
Yes, I can't wait to meet him because he's such a charming guy. Ooh.
What is it?
Where is he? Mace. Mace. Ma come si dirà Mace in italiano? Mazzo.
Macho.
Come gli antichi romani, like the ancient Romans, Macius.
Io machos.
Ah, macho in the sense of eating.
No, I'm
Sì, mangiamo. Ah, Mace, dove sei? Ci sei? Mace.
Oh, eccomi qua.
Oh, eccolo qua.
Oh.
Ciao, Mace. So nice to meet you. These cherries are for you.
Oh. She couldn't. We called our mask, and Colombina wanted to do any cherries to Pulcinella perché le ha preparate per un ospite importante.
Yeah, the best important special guest.
Thank you.
Mace Perlman from
Connecticut. Yes.
I said it Italian way.
Yes, I'm born in New York City, actually. Yes, and grew up in Connecticut. And here I am on a beautiful, beautiful day in Connecticut. And you, Chiara, are in Massachusetts.
Yes.
Emanuele is in Queens.
New York, yes.
In Queens, New York. Dalle Regine.
Dalle Regine.
Exactly.
The royal guest. Pulcinella is the guest of the Queens.
Sì, vorrebbe essere lui.
Yeah.
È sempre in mezzo alle regine. So we every Wednesday we do a live with actors, directors in Italy, in US, and we talk about La Commedia in Quarantena because
yes.
We don't know now. Now I was listening the Governor Cuomo. Now maybe we are in phase 2, but we forget what kind of phase we are now.
Yes.
Because the theater are, coping with difficulties, especially because they will be the last one to open.
Yeah.
So we will talk about your career, your project, future projects, and how your quarantine, stay at home, involved with your career.
Yes.
Quindi, but first of all, okay, Chiara, we have many problems with these lives. because all the time we don't know which language we have to speak. If we have to speak in Italian, in English, and
Yes,
the,
next time we'll speak, I don't know, Hindi,
I would
or
like that.
Japanese, konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Um, no, because really, of course, commedianti dell'arte are multilingual and most of all gramlotic.
and Mace, he's good at it.
I imagine.
Yeah,
I enjoy. I love to eat the macaroni and to speak the macaroni.
Exactly.
No, Gramlo, absolutely.
Gramlo and Italian English, you know, and so we are always mixing Italian and English.
Watchalo il ragazzo.
Watchalo il ragazzo, mangia la chicken. Exactly. So, yeah, we can switch whatever, qualunque cosa che ci sentiamo.
You see, I have this feeling, I'm like, where's the the camera?
I know.
Very strange. I'm not, there's no earthquake here, but I'm not doing this on purpose. It must be a mental problem I have. It's the old game, when I move to the left, my image moves to the right.
Yeah.
I know, but
I'm actually seeing from the audience's point of view, actually, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm looking
exactly.
at myself as if I were in the audience, and it's a very strange experience. Anyway, excuse me.
No, but that's okay, Mason.
Everything,
you are also in mime.
Everything is a little sfasato. Everything is a little sfasato. It's really true. I hear my voice with a little echo or a little pause. I see my image reflected back to me. It's a strange, it is a strange thing. And we are, as actors, we are communicators.
Yeah.
And it is a difficult time. So these are the least of our problems right now. But I feel that I'm interrupting you. You wanted to ask more.
No.
Am I?
No, I was just saying myself that maybe you can take advantage of the frame to use your mime, your wonderful mime capacities and abilities. Yeah, you see?
Thank you.
You see? Hanging like that. Tell us a little bit about, because I'm very curious, it's a personal thing, about your beginning of studying mime with the great master Marcel Marceau.
Marcel Marceau. Ecco here's the Marceau's butterfly.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, this was one of his favorite, and I can't really do it well here because it's a little like, Arlecchino has the Mosca. The Mosca who lands on his nose. And then, goes away. But, Marceau was famous for the butterfly, but Marceau he was very fascinated by the expressive possibilities of the hands. And so he was fascinated by they call them the mudras.
The Indian.
Yeah, and he would always have us count the hands that we had worked on. And he wanted, I don't remember how many in India. I don't know why. When I try to remember something, I look, it's not up in the room. But anyway, I'm remembering he used to ask us how many we would count the number of hands we had done. And so, among the ones that are coming to mind, this was the hand of Christ.
Right.
It was the hand, la mano che benedice, no?
Right.
La mano che benedice dall'arte rinascimentale, la mano che benedice. La mano, the lyrical hand.
Right. He did this a lot. Yes. Okay, let me put a better view. Probably this way.
Oh, wow.
Better. Yeah. Let me see the hand.
Yeah, it's la mano che sogna. You know?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
That's called la main lyrique.
Uh-huh.
Main lyrique. La mano lirica, the lyrical hand.
Beautiful.
The hand of Christ, the hand of evil.
I like this.
Mano que da, the hand, where are we? The hand that gives.
Uh-huh.
The hand that gives. Que semina, no?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, right.
E la mano che prende. Questo è molto utile per pantaloni dei bisognosi.
Let me see, go closer. I love this stuff. I just love.
Why is it so hard for me? Okay. You can see I am not a man of the camera. I am a man of the stage. So it's the exact opposite. The hand, la mano della generosità che dà.
Right.
Wait a minute. La mano che dà, that gives, and the hand that takes. And the hand that che prende.
So, Emanuele, try to give and I'm gonna grab.
You know? It's also interesting, the rhythm, right? Giving is a very open, soft.
And
la mano che prende senza.
Okay.
Yeah, prende.
It's greedy, very greedy.
It's like the hands that take when I play Pantalone with the full costume. He has his coat behind. He takes even the gesture of taking his tail, of opening his coat. It's already the hand of a avaro. Even if he grabs his coat, lo prende, lo mette dietro di sé. He takes his coat and he puts it behind him. There's something. I don't know. There's something of the miser, dell'avaro.
Right. In the hands. In Pantalone's hands.
La mano, this is called la mano pamplemousse, pompelmo. Grapefruit. But this was from De Croo. These are, by the way, I want to mention a moment, Etienne De Croo and Marcel Marceau.
Oh, yeah.
Remind me. Yes, that's good. Let's see. Emanuele. Si vede che Emanuele ha molta esperienza con i pompelmi. Yeah, that's good. That's exactly right. And then
you know,
how about the
I know you. This is called la main géométrique. It's very abstract. And then, of course, I was playing with Chiara the other day. La mano orientale.
Yeah.
Which allows you to do a bird, you know.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
And the fish. I remember I saw a show of Marcel Marceau, and he did the creation of the world.
Yes.
La création du monde, and he was doing all the fish.
Yes.
Cerchiamo di anche cambiare argomento. Quindi da Marcel Marceau, come si è passato a Giorgio Strehler?
Yeah, from Marcel Marceau to Giorgio Strehler.
Well, it's very easy, very painless, because, in fact, Marcel Marceau's nonno, dico nonno artistico, his grandfather in art was Jacques Copeau. And Jacques Copeau, many Americans don't know about Jacques Copeau because they know about Stanislavski, of course, or think they do. We have a lot of, it's true. We have a lot of misunderstandings about Stanislavski in America. But they know Stanislavski, they know Brecht, perhaps, or think they do. But the other great, great, great pioneer, not only of the art of the theater, but of the art of acting, was Jacques Copeau. And he was influencing me, believe it or not, even before I met Marceau. When I was at Stanford University, and I wanted to write my thesis on, actually the thesis came after Marceau, but I was interested in the theater. I was more than interested. I was very excited to find, you know, Chiara, we were talking yesterday about maestri. Because il maestro trova l'allievo or l'allievo trova il maestro, non si sa. You know, there's a very strange, it's a little like falling in love.
Sì.
You don't know what is the force that brings, right, Emanuele? It's very powerful.
Esatto.
You don't know what is the force that brings the student to the master or the master to the student. And I'm not trying to be romantic. To me, it's a very real thing. I'm speaking of something very concrete in the sense that, you know, we feel a need, right? It's like a hunger. And sometimes you're hungry for something and you don't even know what that thing is yet, but you know you have a longing for something. And so you go to the library looking for books, and you don't know where you will find what it is you're looking for, but it's a kind of affinità, you know, it's some kind of, and when you find it, you know, it's like, my son is about to go to university this fall. How do you choose a university? You read all the websites and you listen to but in the end, it's a smell, it's a taste, it's something not something logical. It's not logical at all. So anyway, there's a very nice story about how I ended up with Marcel Marceau, actually involving myself at 3 in the morning in Venice, meeting students of his on a bridge, and you know, they were playing the bongos. And anyway, I was looking for Marcel Marceau, but I didn't have an address. And I met these mimes late at night, you know, and I said, you know about Marcel Marceau? And they said, well, only what you would know as his student. So they were his students, and they gave me the address for the school. It's a whole thing. But I'm getting a little distracted and sentimentale. But you were asking me about Marceau and Strehler.
And also Strehler, Mace, because our friend is online. We have a bunch of friends that are following us right now.
Yeah.
We have Federico Moschetti, whom we interviewed one of the first sessions of La Commedia in Quarantena. And
Wow.
Federico is he's working in Rome, and he does a lot of teatro di strada, so street theater, commedia dell'arte. He studied also with a bunch of grandi maestri. And Federico wrote, as you can see here, Great Season for Theater History, that one, meaning Marcel Marceau and then Giorgio Strehler, of course.
Ma quindi no, dicevo, Mace.
Oh, ha scritto una domanda.
No, it's not really a question, it's more of a comment. Ciao Federico.
Ciao
We missed
Federico.
you.
Ciao Fede.
Il tuo rapporto con Giorgio Strehler, Mace.
Yes.
Di solito i maestri sono, diciamo, tormentati. Com'era il tuo rapporto? E soprattutto cosa ti ha dato nella tua carriera futura?
Yeah, your relationship with Giorgio Strehler, and what was he like?
I will begin at the beginning by saying di carriera futura quasi niente. Avrebbe voluto darmi tanto, and that's true. Giorgio Strehler, to me, was extremely generous of spirit. Non lascia niente da desiderare, ecco. You know, poor Maestro Strehler, who died at the age of 76 in 1997 on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I remember.
On Christmas Day, like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Exactly 20 years before, I think. I think Chaplin died on Christmas Day, 77. You know, excuse me, I'm horrified and fascinated by this. I'm speaking into the camera. This is good, right?
Yeah, this is good.
That's awesome.
But of course, it's very unnatural because my eyes keep wandering to you, Chiara, and to you, Emanuele. So this brings up, just to say, this brings up the colpo di maschera, right?
Esatto.
Right.
Colpo di maschera, Chiara. Colpo di maschera, Emanuele. Chiara, Emanuele. Chiara, Emanuele.
E obiettivo
Questo invece è quello che il maestro Giorgio Strehler chiamava, non dico avrebbe chiamato, chiamava, perché l'ho visto su una registrazione dell'Arlecchino, Servitori di due maestri, in cui presentava per la TV italiana. And I'm saying Giorgio Strehler I saw in a taping of the Arlecchino, Servant of Two Masters, of the Goldoni production in the 1950s. They made a taping in black and white for Italian TV, and he introduces the production. And he speaks directly into the camera, and he says, he calls the camera the l'occhio gelido della telecamera, you know, the frozen, you know, the cold as ice, you know, the cold eye of the camera. And he says, I don't know, you know, I don't know what the results will be. We're playing here for the cold eye of the camera. It's not familiar. You know, this is not familiar. And in a way, this gets right to the heart of what you're asking about COVID, right?
Yes.
Yes. We performers had to adapt and try to find other means of communication.
So I use my imagination because I'm looking at a little green dot on my screen, and I'm trying to imagine the eyes of Emanuele and the beautiful eyes of Chiara. Scusami, Emanuele.
No, certo.
No, but both beautiful. The occhi, you know, I have to say in Italian, we have this beautiful expression in Italian. I say we as if I am Italian, but anyway, I am più di mezzo Italiano, who knows what percentage. But anyway, this expression, parlare a quattro occhi, you know? And it's a very beautiful expression. It means
due occhi.
Now I'm going to leave the camera. I'm going to look at Emanuele and Chiara because Italians naturally understand that to really speak with deep understanding, we have an expression in English, heart to heart. Right? We speak cuore a cuore.
È vero.
Heart to heart. But for me, this expression of speaking with four eyes means my eyes need your eyes.
Yeah.
And we need to be able, the back and forth, you know, l'andirivieni.
Vero.
L'andirivieni delle energie che passano. And so the mask makers, you know, the Italians, I guess the Italians took from the Greeks, and maybe the Atellan, you know, the Atellan.
Atellana, the comedy, the Roman comedy. Yeah.
But let's say that they invented the mezza maschera. And it is not something to take for granted. It's an incredible instrument for communication. Yeah. So I always show, here, I'll show you. Let me show you with one of my masks. This is an Arlecchino baffuto. Look at it.
Bello.
Oh, beautiful.
Hai visto che bello?
Bellissimo.
Look, if I put it on, now there's no one home. Non c'è nessuno di casa.
Vero.
Right? Still not really no one home, but ora sì che ti posso parlare, no? Vedi che gli occhi della maschera devono essere vicinissimi.
Ciao Daniela, we have another great friend. We have Carmen. Ciao Carmen, baci. Daniela, look at the beautiful Arlecchino baffuto mask. Oh,
sono i baffi. Sono bellissimi. Voi non potete toccare, ma vi giuro, sono soffici.
Facci toccare i baffi. Facci toccare
i baffi.
Non si fa così, non si fa così. Magari la si fare
che ne dici di questo?
È un'arlecchinetta.
Un'arlecchinetta.
Buon
Ciao Arlecchino baffuto.
Ciao.
I also have a little bit of a mustache, but better not to say.
Ma quando mi diventa arancione, mo diventa uno che c'ha i baffi veri.
Ho già fatto, ho pulito tutto, signor dottor. Ho pulito, ho fatto. Ho pulito, ho fatto e...
No, io ho pulito. I cleaned your room, dottore.
Ma non è vero. Non è vero un tubo.
Not here. I did it.
Arlecchina, voglio primo, ma diciamo le cose come stanno.
Ma guarda, io non ce n'entro. I don't want to be caught in this fighting between Arlecchino Baffuto, Arlecchinetta, De Palanzone.
Mace, bravissimo. Un'altra cosa che volevo
but I don't want to lose. Before we pass to another thing, I feel you can see I'm easily distracted because if we're not easily distracted, we can't play.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Questo è il bello della improvvisazione in questo nuovo mezzo online, no? Ci sperimentiamo con questo nuovo mezzo e la cosa positiva che ci ha dato lo stare sempre in casa. Però tu l'altra volta, mentre abbiamo chiacchierato prima, in questi giorni, mi hai parlato di una cosa che vorrei tu dicessi. Sì. In America, hai detto, non c'è una cultura molto verbale. Cosa vuoi dire?
I think Americans, we are a very visual culture. Mm-hmm. We love images. We know that the Hollywood movie, mm-hmm. although there have been Hollywood movies with wonderful screenplays, wonderfully written, but in general, the movie is less about the language of the dialogue and more about the kind of raw, let us say, the raw energies of the actors and the story and the imagery, most of all, right? Mm-hmm. You know, there's some wonderful European movies where every single line of the movie is like a line from Oscar Wilde or from Shakespeare. Or now this is unfair. Anything I say, the opposite is also true. Of course, it's unfair. There are wonderful American movies where every word that is spoken from beginning to end is perfect. But generally, I think generally, we are a culture, we're more interested, we're not necessarily very interested in language as such. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you another example. Mm-hmm. You know, American playing is often about the subtext. And of course, subtext is important, terribly important. Yeah. We all know, for those of us who play Shakespeare, we all know that the beauty of Shakespeare is that every thought, every half thought, mezzo pensiero, ogni quarto pensiero, is in the language. He has this wonderful ability to make everything present in the language. And I have to say, the Commedia dell'Arte, in a certain way also, these characters, they show everything. When they're lying, you see that they're lying. Mm-hmm. You know, they show they are incapable of truly hiding anything. In other words, everything, it's as if all their feelings and all their thoughts are coming through the pores of their skin. You know, they're fully present. And in the same way, Shakespeare, the beauty of acting Shakespeare is that the answer to every question you may have is there for you in the language. Mm-hmm. But the language holds all the answers to the mysteries of the play. And so I knew I wanted to be an actor when I was 6 years old, and I watched Laurence Olivier on my mother's television in black and white. It was the television on the floor, and he was playing Hamlet. And it was magic, you know. And so I love language in that sense that I love plays, you know, Oscar Wilde, you know, the importance of being earnest. every syllable is perfect. It has a kind of musical perfection, so that if you miss a syllable, and this is true, we know this, if you miss a syllable in Shakespeare, really a syllable, it's like una nota sbagliata. It's like you're playing Beethoven and your finger, you know, slipped. But because the language is so, I don't want to say perfect. It's perfect in its imperfection, but it is so cristallina, you know? It is so somehow these are playwrights who trust. Here's a good way of putting it. Here's a very good way of putting it. They trust that language is enough. They trust that language is enough, that language can tell us everything we need to know about a human being. Now, having said that, of course, it's fascinating to see a man who says one thing, but his body says something else. Of course, we play these games with the subtext and the unconscious and all of those things. But I give you another example from American life for people to think about. I find this fascinating. When George Bush Jr., the younger George Bush, became president, here was a man who would begin a sentence, and by the time he got to the main clause of the sentence, he had forgotten what the subordinate clause was. I shouldn't do this because people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I keep changing, you know, this entire talk. I also interrupt myself, but my interruption is more out of passionate expression. His was simply a lack of direction. I mean, you know, he'd begin a sentence and then really, you know, he'd have a subject that was singular and a verb that was plural. You know, he didn't know where he was going. So in any case, what I noticed was that Americans, I used to say this, the fact that I am not a good or clever speaker, the fact that I am not a capable employer of rhetorical devices does not make me more sincere.
Yeah.
Right? So Americans, we tend to think, oh, he's a regular guy. He can't speak very well. He has a small vocabulary. He sounds a little stupid like me. He must be authentic. He must be authentic and sincere. Now, I don't know in what way this may apply to our current president.
Well.
But you know, as Americans, but it's very interesting. We do not trust people. We do not trust people with a big vocabulary.
But Mace, this is very interesting.
We trust people who only use about 15 words.
I agree with you, Mace. I have to say that I was surprised. One time I was at a party and we were talking politics. And I said, I'm surprised that people go from Obama, who speaks in an amazing way, to another president who is almost an illiterate.
Yes.
And somebody talked to me and he said, well, because they want a president to be like us.
Yes.
They want a president. And to me, as an Italian, this is very, very surprising that we want somebody that represents our country as not being a good orator, a good, a good speaker.
Well, there we go.
For me, it's hard to accept, I have to say.
It's very hard.
Federico dice che è lo stesso in Italia. Federico is saying that it's true for Italian politicians, but I think it's something new of the last years, of the last few years. I don't think that...
I agree. I also believe, listen, Italians adore rhetoric. Italians adore rhetoric and they adore polemica. And they also adore arguzia, wit.
You wait. Yeah.
Sale in testa. Tanto è vero, you know, Chiara, you're from La Toscana. You say scemo. Say scemo, right?
Yes.
Scemo. Say scemo means you're stupid. But scemo, il pane scemo, right?
Well, no, wait, Mace, that is sciocco. Sciocco. Sciocco means silly or with no salt.
So there you go. The bread is sciocco. It lacks manca sapore, manca sale. You can say the same of someone's words, someone's thoughts, right? So you understand that connection.
Wait, Mace, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We have a last question for you that is completely, you know, it's a different question, and then we'll have to close and do a little final scene. Daniela Roma, who is an amazing pianist, she's in Rhode Island, but she is from Calabria.
Yeah.
She's asking whether you are a relative of the violinist Itzhak Perlman.
Perché Perlman non è l'uomo delle perle, giusto?
Yes. Yes.
Well, that should have an A.
I would love to say that I am, because I admire him deeply. I admire him deeply. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. From what I understand, also a wonderful human being and a wonderful artist. Che io sappia, non che io sappia, not that I know, not that I know. I have a very famous cousin who is an actor. We can play the game. I won't drop his name yet. But if I remind you, if I make this face, he's a very famous cousin. I'll just say that. Very famous actor. But I want to make sure, I don't know, how much time do we have before we have to say goodbye?
5 minutes top.
5 minutes.
Mamma mia!
I know that time flies when we are chatting, right?
It does.
Il tempo vola. Il tempo vola.
Tempo vola. I want to make sure I don't leave behind, because Emanuele asked me a big question about Giorgio Strehler.
Esatto. E poi voglio chiederti che, vabbè, abbiamo visto cosa ti ha portato la quarantena, ma se hai un progetto futuro che non ci dirai perché siamo scaramantici, prego.
I would like to work with you too. You know that.
Oh, questa è una notizia.
No, really, I want to say this, guys, for whoever is following us now, is watching now. Every spring, as Bostonians know, I teach a Commedia dell'Arte workshop that is open for all. And every spring, more or less. Next year, if everything is okay, we have no COVID, we have no plague, we have no malaria or something. I would like to invite Mace to integrate my workshop with a little bit of mime, because I love mime, and maybe a little bit of a grand finale with a lecture about the relationship between Commedia dell'Arte and Shakespeare.
Visto che la peste, il Covid sarà andato via, io faccio il ruolo della peste, la peste che ritorna, la peste del Decamerone di Boccaccio.
Yes, exactly. Federico is saying,
listen, I do have a project, guys. I don't want to put it out there. Thank you so much, Federico. I see his note. Thank you, Federico. Listen, I want to say, before we leave, I very much want to say, anyone who is watching today, I treasure the salotto. I treasure this room. So I'm very interested in hearing from you. Okay. I don't know. I assume Chiara and Emanuele will post my email. Please feel free to contact me. For me, this is only the beginning of a conversation. So Federico, you know, all of you, I would love to hear from you. I would love to talk.
Federico is coming in the spring if we are going to do this big workshop.
Fantastic.
Federico farà un tour.
Say about Giorgio Strehler, however.
Boston, New York. Federico farà un tour Boston, New York e anche in Connecticut. Dai.
Yes.
And he will be performing also.
Ah, sì.
Fantastic.
And Daniela Roma says complimenti, lo ascolterei per ore.
Ma chi? Il violinista?
E mi parlerei per le ore. Oh.
E parlerebbe per ore.
Sono proprio noioso, sono paloso. No,
visto che sei bravo con gli accenti, chiamiamo le maschere. Che cosa
Dai, chiamiamo le maschere.
Give me, Emanuele?
Sì, prego.
Before we jump into the masks, I just really want to say about Giorgio Strehler that we were children. We were called I Giovani del Piccolo Teatro. I was in the Corso Copeau. There it is, Jacques Copeau.
Right.
Giorgio Strehler opened a new school in 1987, and he called us to him in the sense that here we are a distanza di 30 anni e più, 30 anni e più. Yes. And we are all very much still familia. We are brothers and sisters. In some strange way, Giorgio Strehler saw in us his artistic and spiritual children. I just want to say that I wrote an essay. If anyone is interested, I'd be glad to send it to you. It's in a new book on Shakespeare and Italy about Strehler's work with Shakespeare, and most particularly with Il Gioco dei Potenti, l'Enrico VI. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. I have a dream. You asked me about progetti prossimi. I have a dream to find a publisher who would help me to publish the copione, the script, from the Henry VI of Giorgio Strehler, Il Gioco dei Potenti, the game of the powerful. Giorgio Strehler made an original script for all three parts of Enrico VI, and I would like to publish it with the Italian script on one side and the English on the other, because Giorgio Strehler was a great genius of the world. Unfortunately, his work is underappreciated and underknown in the English-speaking world. And so part of what I love to do, I love to translate his work, to bring his work to an English-speaking audience. Because in the process, I continue to learn. I still learn a great deal from him, even though he's been gone, 23 years, 22 years. I'm still learning from him. So that's my answer to you. And by the way, everything he gave me was artistic and intellectual. As far as I know so far, nothing he gave me was career. He wanted to. He said to me in his dressing room at Faust, he said, Perlman, ma tu lavorerai ovunque, ma chiaro, no? Caro, tu lavorerai, farai Shakespeare con la Shakespeare, farai al National Theatre, farai a Parigi, farai Molière, Marivaux, con noi, caro, sei sempre di casa, farai Goldoni, farai Pirandello, farai tutto quanto, perché parli benissimo l'italiano, parli benissimo il francese, non ci sono problemi, no? I'll ask those of you, I won't translate, you'll have to ask an Italian friend, but he wanted me to be, he saw in me, this is the best thing I can say about Giorgio Strehler, he saw in every actor the best that they could ever become. He really had this this was a beautiful gift he had. He had an infinite capacity to imagine you personally at your very best, In other words, he helped the actor to expand the envelope of the possible.
Bellissimo. È bello, è commovente. It's moving to hear this about such a big master like he was. Ok, pronti? Ready?
Con un presuntuoso poteva essere senza pietà. Però per umile tutto era possibile.
Ragazzi, we have, you know who's watching? Alice Bertolini, who is the one who makes Emanuele and my Pazzi Lazzi masks in Venezia.
Ma dai, ciao!
She's an amazing mask maker from Venezia.
My mask maker is Renzo Antonello di Vicenza.
Molto bella, molto bella.
Molto bella.
So for Alice and also for Antonello, what's his name again?
His name is Renzo.
Renzo.
Antonello a Brendola, vicino provincia di Vicenza. E
Ecco,
sei
allora,
un grande mascheraro.
bravo. Allora,
ciao
for
Renzo.
both of them, Alice and Renzo, we are going to wear a couple of one mask.
Okay.
Surprise me with your mask.
Vita mia quella che non si fa. Cavimmano nu zanni.
Sì, ciao. Ciao.
What's going on here? Huh? What's this business going on? Pulcinella. Hey.
Yes.
Where can we find some? Listen, I've been talking to you for an hour. Where do I get paid? Where's the money?
The money he has it. He has the money. Pulcinella has the money.
Devi sgranare. Strana.
Io solo le ciliegie.
Yeah. Oh, you have. Oh my goodness, those are delicious. Those. Where do those come from?
Italia.
Fantastic.
Italia mia.
Are those the famous Duroni from Duroni?
No? Duroni, bravo.
Wow.
They are so hard that I broke my teeth.
Oh, be careful, yeah. Oh gosh. They look good though.
You too, Master. Are you the president?
Am I the president?
Yes.
I'm the president of my own fan club. I'll tell you that. I am.
And we are all with you.
Listen, I'm sweating here from the COVID, but I am. Let me tell you. Everyone can find me on www.brigellarus.
Brigella Ras. Yes. I'm gonna vote for you, but it's gonna be $3,000.
What do you mean? You're gonna give me $3,000?
No. I'm gonna give you my vote.
Yes.
And you're gonna give me $3,000. Actually, euro.
Oh, I don't think so, sister. No, this I run a bank here. I run an operation where the money comes in, but it never goes out. You know what I'm saying? My bank is deposit only. You put the money in, and it stays there, right where I can see it. You know. I'm sorry.
So
that's the rules of my. I learned that from the Medici.
my friends, the old family.
So you are medical.
I am what?
A medical.
Well, if the price is right, sure. Listen, Pulcinella. I have removed organs. From men, sometimes while they were still alive.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
There's a good market, for organs on the black market. I can get these days with the COVID. I'm getting big bucks for the kidneys.
Wow. I will suggest your service to our presidents.
Fantastic.
He will be happy.
Remove the organs.
The president needs a little more fegato,
True.
Yeah. And he could use a heart, like a human heart.
Yes, a heart.
Yeah.
And also a brain. A
brain would be nice. A brain would be nice. Yeah.
We can watch each other heart to heart.
Heart to heart. I like that.
And acquatrocchi.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Ciao a tutti. Bye everybody. Thank you for following us. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Tante grazie, Mace. Tante grazie.
No, thank
Wonderful to have you.
Il tempo, mamma mia, è volato via il tempo.
E volerà ogni settimana e guardaci spesso perché avremo
I am I'm going to go back. I make you a solemn promise, Chiara and Emanuele. I'm going to go back and look at all the previous. How many previous ones are there?
Perché Holly Creek ci ha parlato di te. Holly Creek ha scritto anche un libro.
Ciao, Holly.
Avevi curato un capitolo nel suo libro, quindi...
Due.
Sì. Ah, due.
Due capitoli.
We had Holly Creek, we had Federico Moschetti that followed right now all our conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll keep you posted
Federico.
about next week, okay?
And maybe Claudia Contin.
Esatto.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Claudia, who is my master, she will be one of our guests.
I hope so.
I'm talking to her.
I would love to hear her and see her.
I know.
Thank you so much, guys.
Ciao ragazzi, ciao
Ciao.
Mace, grazie.
Ciao Nico e ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao.